Virgo, what's good? How's it going? It is 8:47 p.m. Central Time, Tuesday, June 10th, and hope all is well. General message. So this is not just general, but it is for a general viewer. However, it's the extended from the previous reading. So it wasn't as clear on will they take action. That didn't really come through. I didn't ask on it either. It seems like individuals know what they are to do to right their wrongs. I feel like there's multiple individuals in your life over time that had broken your trust, broken your bond, broken your loyalty relationship, right? Broken a vow, even, and that was due to an outsider's connection, manipulation. Not that they're stronger or greater than, no, but I feel like you definitely give others the space to decide what they're gonna do, and it's on them to take the actions in their life when pertaining to general responsibilities of themselves. Just as you would have to take actions in your life when pertaining to general responsibilities, right? Hold up, excuse me, I think my phone's ringing. All right, disclaimer if you hear any sounds in the background. That's that. You have multiple responsibilities and connections, loyalties to keep up with, right? It's just like this is like a grandparent has to keep up with her kids, her grandbabies, her great great grandbabies, right? A grandfather or grandmother has to keep up with all that, right? To keep up with every relationship, right? Tiers of tears, and that could be also like in business and family, all of the above, right? Romantic or all that, right? So that's the case, and it applies for everyone else also. But this is like the deceiver steps in with something in addition. Say someone's an addictive state. They have a weakness for a drug, sex, or it could be the same sex, just sex in general, right? It's like that kind of energy. Money, someone could be struggling and wanting more money, money hungry, right? So they would do other than they know they need to do for what they want to do for more of a gain, right? This is that kind of energy. So that's why other individuals step out. If they're easily persuaded like that, they could be corrupted, right? In a sense, they're already corrupted. It's not really corrupted. I feel like it's weak, right? They're weak for the opportunity, so they'll step out on a vow of their own towards a personal gain, right? They have it where I can still keep this vow with whomever he or she over here. Let me do this quick job, come up here, and then I can still pursue this one and there. But these outside contracts interfere with their pureness, their resilience, their focus of certain jobs. You know what I'm saying? And those certain jobs are also pinpointing down to a simple contract, their loyalty, a purity, right? Many individuals are pure, and when I'm saying pure, they're very sensitive to energies of others. So if other energies step in, it could be of interference, right? So it's like you could be very selective on who you enter in contracts with, and then that individual enters contracts with individuals that are not aligned to the vision and focus, so that interferes with the vision. And then not only does that interfere with the vision, it also disrupts the manipulation that individuals have here. They're trying to pursue manipulation and quick schemes, quick come ups, right? And they always fail, and they always have to lie to cover up another lie. They always have to manipulate. This is like a stage. They always have to stage a scenario to try to out someone that's a threat to them, right? They're already on scheme. So another person that's not, and that have, this is like two lawyers. One like manipulated their way into their seat, or two judges rather. One manipulated their way into their seats, and I can use lawyers, and the other one worked their way through to their seat, right? And then they both had to persuade a judge, though. These individuals are linked in with all individuals that are manipulating in their field, right? Whereas this one is working with whomever is pure in their position, right? So this is good and evil energy, right? This is that field. So now they're both having to persuade the judge of their case, And it's like these individuals do a lot to, and they even have like escorts of people to go after the people that this lawyer is working with to try to create a case against them, a stronger case against them. This is that kind of energy. Okay, so applying that to the previous reading. Also, mechanics, like bioengineering was coming in the reading when I was getting to the energy. So you could be someone working in bioengineering, or that could be like a passion of yours. You could like enjoy that kind of field, science, biology, mechanics even. You could be having more jobs. You could be like, more jobs could be coming in. Say you read tarot, or you could have more private readings coming in for tarot. So paying customers, loyal customers, because they trust your word, they trust your work. Okay. On the flip side, you could be reviewing or viewing tarot readings, because it's like the alternatives. It's like to get a better scope, aspect of a certain situation. Or I feel like it brings more clarity. Okay. You could be having a child being that needs discipline even. Okay. A child needs discipline. Mine does. Look, listen. Mine is banging on the wall. Let me get to that. Look, I'm a Virgo too. Yeah, it was 6:33 on the time. Someone having emotional disturbance, 6-6. It could be a child, or people that are behaving like a child. It could be adults that are behaving like a child. That's bringing more clarity. Also, what was coming through was individuals in the past had they were doing rituals, party rituals, trades. They were doing trades during parties, or that's going on now even, as I'm feeling. Individuals are doing trades during parties. There is a diversion. The party is a diversion, but the trade is going on, is going on during the party. It's like behind the scenes. I'm seeing like these really fancy curtains. So this could be like in the individuals that have like a well-known name, right? They could be, it's coming through like in the public. Obviously a well-known name. Yeah, architect, design. They could be someone like that is admired, respected, sought after. There, it's like the I'm hearing white carpet, so I don't know if that's a thing. There's red carpet, white carpet. It's like carpet kind of venues that go on. Okay, giggles top and bottom. So individual also was coming through. I had they've had sexual relations with a person, they only to have access to another person. They tried sexual intercourse to gain access, to gain you through her. So this is towards a masculine. So masculine, this was coming through that individuals have sexual intercourse with you to gain access to your counterpart, your divine counterpart, or your expected counterpart to be. I feel like it started at a young age. Like individuals have been praying, like elders had been praying, seeking answers, specific answers of a certain individual. It's kind of like looking for Jesus kind of energy. Certain individuals that would be in power, and they sought after the hims and the hers in order to disrupt the union to be, right? In order to have like children with you, create arranged marriage here, to have children with her, to separate the seed from coming into fruition is what's coming through. Major distractions. They sought to have your loyalty to them, right? And even create sabotage, manipulations to have you tied in, linked in. So either way, you would be damaged. Like either way, how it goes, like you're damaged because of what they put you in through childbirth, or what's coming through like childbirth into adulthood. So like, yeah, like you would create your own demise. Really, it wasn't you, it's others, the manipulators that sought to have you create your own demise. Like you're not at fault, you know what I'm saying? But you have to see that for yourself, like what has been going on in your surroundings, environment, childhood, upbringing, or current. Okay. I return all the love others have sent to me. If that is love, then that's what it'll be. If that's hate, that's what it will be. Is coming through. There's a realization going on. Disco could be significant. Ladies' luck. There could be a party going on, a disco party going on, where there's like some alterations going on. It could be in a drain, drugging people to have their DNA, to receive their DNA, to receive their child, their seed even, yeah. So something about a disco, they're having people drugged. I'm thinking of like the disco days, right? Like hippie disco days where they were doing a lot of drugs with a lot of dancing, a lot of love. They were under a lot of illusions, trance like state. And individuals are under the influence and feeling very like sexual. This is that kind of energy. So this is like individuals, that's what individuals do as a scheme, strategic, like a plot against people, whether that is happening or expected to happen. I feel like it was, is, and expected to be, okay? Meaning it already had been done to some and they're still doing that. Someone's still doing that. Let's see. We have here the sun, illumination, clarity on this situation. Okay, we have here the 8 of Pentacles is with business. It's just a form of business. It's a part of business. The moon, yeah, it's hidden. The sun and the moon, it's hidden, but it's known. You know what I'm saying? This is something that's not as public, but it's familiar with those that are involved with it. 6 of Pentacles, there are people connected to it, like I'm saying. And then the lust. Yeah. It's a business. It's a business. Prince of Wands and arts. Yeah, it's a form of manipulation with the cup. Arts, form of manipulation that they do in order to have, look, the embryos here. They're trying to create bioengineering. They're trying to create the future. You know, they're trying to arrange marriages, arrange DNA. Look at the yin and yang. Yeah. I mean, some individuals seek to have like the best marriage for their child, you know, that's different. But some are like in a frantic state, like this is like a mental state going after certain individuals. Like, you know, they look for the stars, and that's why a lot of like the trails in the sky are created to prevent individuals. Like scientists have access to see the stars and all that, right? There's the people in NASA that are up and looking at the planet alignments, but they us on Earth plane, they want to block with the trails, right, of the planets, because the planets, well, they seem like stars from a distance, but they're the planets. The planets are rotating. That's why at certain times of the year we could see multiple planets at once. They're very close to us, but they put the trails in the sky to prevent us individuals from seeing that, like just everyday individuals from seeing that, right? Because also too, there are stars seekers, right? They read the stars. We read the stars. Like a lot of us read the stars, right? And they're trying to block off our connections to the stars and the planet. Okay. Now, in some cases, the planet is like the moon, for example, would be illuminated. Some planets are very strong when they're coming close, but all for the good. Like some people will feel headaches and like dehydrated when certain planets are near. So it's like, oh, we're blocking it to protect the people, but actually the planets are really connecting to us and purifying and purging us of blockages from others. That, I mean, we're all different people here, right? So there's other individuals that are utilizing their abilities to their advantage, and even that's an advantage, trying to block up others of their abilities. Okay. 555, there's going to be a change. Okay, architectural change. Okay, we have the full energy here. I'm getting that there's a summoning going on. Ace of Swords, there's going to be a summoning. I feel like there's like a class of geniuses that come together, or like they're recruited into a specific kind of college. I feel like it's more private than that, but this was coming through. Princess of Pentacles. But for someone, you were meant to be in this class, and now you will be. It's coming through. We have here the Knight of Wands and the High Priestess. Yeah, top and bottom. Yeah, someone's giggling. So the individuals they had in the past giggled at the demise of others, so the manipulation or how they procreated with others, you know, meaning had a child, right, conceived with others. Excuse me, Kirby. 903, yeah, that was definitely need to be clear, it needs to be said. Yeah, some individuals were laughing at it, and they're laughing at how they're trying to strip people of their rights, trying to provoke them out of like their rights. Yeah, but there's a lot of flow, a lot of emotional flow going on. And it's like amongst every race that are being affected by it. You know what I'm saying? Like some people seek a certain position and to have like control over others, but that's like their main vision is to have control over others versus having the best direction for others as being in that position. That's the difference. You know, there's a clear difference. Okay. Yeah. So when they try to reach the crown chakra of individuals, when having them under the influence to obtain their DNA, or someone had slept, what's coming through? Someone had slept someone to have access to their DNA. DNA transfers, yeah. You could expect a message, a romantic message, or an apology, or apology from a romantic or like a emotional apology. Person of the past, yeah. I feel like they're feeling devastated and trying to come out of these obstacles that were put into place. And there's a lot of diversions that go out onto the world and onto the social media to disrupt people's mental, their focus, their intentions, their purity, right? Because naturally we are loving, caring beings just generally, right? But if that's not the case, then there's some disruptions going on, some disturbances, right, going on within the individual. So that already says a lot. Okay, we have this devil energy coming out on that Ace of Swords, which is coming out on the manipulation and intimate manipulation for control, energy control, sexual control, to have a soul tie, a sexual tie to an individual, to have their seed, to control their ability, genetics through the seed. Yeah. So, you know, I came across some videos that's coming to mind where individuals will say like their child is demonic, their child is uncontrollable, and it's the genes that combined, right? In addition, it's like their consumption at the time, their food intake, drugs intake, you know, such and such, right? But it's a combination also of the spirit. So some people play a persona to be like a select individual, right? And then when they have a child, it shows really of that who that person is in part, right, through the child, because the child's going to have both mother and father's ways. Okay, but back to this point, because so that's that message. Okay, so these individuals know they are to do right, but will they do right? You know, they know the apology that they need to take, but they also were in agreement with the other individuals. Will they actually do right to Virgo? Because that's what it's needed to be, as it was coming through in the message. They know it needs to be, but will they? Or are they so stuck into the manipulation, the matrix manipulation, that they aren't able to right their wrongs? Okay, let's see. Oh, in the side position, 6 of Swords is in the side position. It depends. And then the High Priestess side position, it really depends. Like they're gonna have to make that decision, you know. They're stuck in that decision. We have here the Strength, the Princess of Wands, and then the 8 of Swords. I feel like they're trapped. They feel trapped. They're trapped, but like they could make the right decision, take the right decision. Tower moment. 5 of Swords, Queen of Wands, and the 9 of Pentacles. Like they could make the right decisions, but it's not without consequences. You know what I'm saying? Like they have to take a loss too. You know what I'm saying? In some form or fashion. But are they ready to? It doesn't seem like it is. Like they are, but whatever is gonna be is gonna have to be. So I'm seeing, and then the 10 of Cups. I mean, they definitely could take the loss and still be satisfied, but they have to go through that consequences, cause and effect. And then the Queen of Wands, and then the Pentacles. I feel like it would be a better outcome. Like still, like they're gonna take like, you know, a loss in some ways, or it's gonna affect them in some ways. But at the end of process, they're going to be better off. All right, that's what's coming through. Okay, so that's fire energy, Aries, Leo, Sag with that Queen of Wands. I'm not saying that's a Queen of Wands, but we're currently in that full moon in Sagittarius. So yeah, definitely. I mean, it's highly being in effect right now. 8 of Cups, Chariot, 10 of Wands, Queen of Cups, the Hermit, 7 of Pentacles, the Lovers, 4 of Pentacles, obstacles, challenges, arenas, 10 of Swords, 2 of Pentacles, and then the Knight of Cups. It's like the more support they will receive, the better. But I feel like someone feels like as if there's not as much support. They feel as if that they have to know that that was like the plan of the enemy, right? To have them without support. I mean, they could still pursue, and come out the achiever, but they have to really embody themselves and purge off others of distractions. Okay, that's what's coming through. There's going to be an ending of the emotional disturbance. It's going to be a rebalance, but it also requires the inputs, the investments. It's like, is love stronger? Like, love is stronger in many ways for situations, but is this person going to choose that love is stronger? What is love? Love is something as nurturing, it's fulfilling, right? It's satisfying. It trumps hatred. It trumps death, right? There's compassion. There's like good vibrations, life, right? Love creates life. Love is vibrating with honesty. This is beauty. Love vibrates in that fashion, whereas the opposite of love doesn't, right? It's a depletion, or it's a self-demise of other individuals. But that's what I have for you, Virgo. Take care. Peace, y'all.